Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's show. I hope you had a great week. I'm so glad that you're watching. I talk about it with Andrew all the time, and it's just such an incredible thing knowing that there are hundreds of people, whether it's on Facebook, PTL Television Network, and even a couple hundred on YouTube as well, that faithfully tune in every single week. I just want to say hello. Like I said, I hope you had a great week, and we've got a really good show planned for you today. Please pray about partnering with us. The summer months are always lower for ministries. I actually found that out this year within our first year of operating as a ministry, that donations just go lower in the summer months. And I told Andrew, I said, we really ought to talk about that, just donating more often. I think this is the fourth show in a row that I had. This would have been the fourth show that I didn't even talk about donations. It's not on my mind. That's not what drives me.
That's true. It really is something we don't like to talk about very much.
It is, and not only don't like, but I forget all the time because I'm excited about what we have to talk about. And I mean, really, this truly is the beginning and stages of this ministry. We really believe that God wants to do an incredible thing through this, and it's not for Andrew's ego. It's not for my ego.
No.
What God is interested in, the calling that God has placed on your life, is not for yourself. It's for others. If the calling that God placed on your life, if what you think the calling of God is, if it only puts money in your account and it only blesses you, then that's not a calling of God.
Amen.
Not to say that you have to be a poor bum,
Right.
but I'm saying that the calling of God is for others, and it's for the advancement of God's kingdom.
Yes.
This life is so temporary, so short. Let us be focused on the things that are unseen. For what is seen is just temporary. But what is unseen, those are the things that last forever. So what is unseen? It's God and it's people's souls. This life here and this vapor that James talks about in the Word of God, it's a vapor. Our life, our purpose here is to know God, know the one that made us and created us and formed us in our mother's womb, and to have a relationship with his son Jesus every day through praying, through worshiping, through reading the Word of God, to know God. And the other half of this little vapor that we're experiencing right now on earth is to make him known. Know God and to make him known. That is our purpose here. The mission statement is IGBY, which stands for I go before you, a promise that God gave Joshua in Deuteronomy when he said, listen, do not be fearful, be strong, be courageous, for I am going before you. I know that you're leading a wandering generation to the promised land, but I'm going before you and I am with you. And we believe that here at this ministry.
Yes.
So not only do we talk about current events and what's happening in the world, our goal is that you would get into your word. For those of you that don't know Jesus, that you would ask Jesus into your heart. Because even though we talk about news and our take on our analysis, the most important thing in this world is that you know Jesus.
Amen.
And that he is your Lord and personal Savior. Let's jump right into it. We have the first article up for display. There's a lot of unpacking here, and just a disclaimer for my radical conservative friends, which I am a conservative. It'll appear at first that I may be bashing the Trump administration, but I'm not. And I will be unpacking that for you because I believe that President Donald Trump is still our best hope for 2020. My goodness.
Yes.
My goodness. He
Absolutely.
really is a godsend, but we are in a reprieve, people. A reprieve, a postponement of judgment. Judgment is coming still. Donald Trump is just a reprieve. No matter what you do, Donald Trump is not going to be the president 6 years from today. And we are only one president away from socialism, from open borders, from truly, I believe, gun confiscation, and from data privacy violations that would cause the hair on the back of your neck to stand up.
Yeah.
Let's unpack the first article. Trump administration considering social credit score system to determine who can buy a gun. There's three parts here that should be alarming. One, it's the Trump administration that's considering this. What? That is scary. Kind of threw me off guard there. But then it's not just like, oh, they're wanting to take our guns. No. Trump administration is considering the social credit system. That alone is an article in itself. The social credit system is a terrifying thing. We'll take a look at China here in just a second to see what that will look like here in America. But not only is the Trump administration considering a social credit system, they're considering a social credit system to determine who can buy a gun.
Yeah, I think even more honestly scary than the idea that our Second Amendment rights are being infringed on is the means by which they could potentially be infringed on.
Exactly. So like, well, there are some things in place act that would limit, the government's ability to do this, and namely the Constitution. Well, if you look at the left and their agenda, they want to destroy the Constitution.
Absolutely.
And actually, we covered that 3 weeks ago, that we uncovered a DHS, Department of Homeland Security paper, a packet, an assessment that was declassified, where they actually labeled you a terrorist and an extremist if you held those beliefs and thoughts. Let's read the article. Let's unpack it, okay? Trump administration considering social credit score system to determine who can buy a gun. The Trump administration is considering launching a social credit score system in coordination with big tech. You watch our show, you already know that's not a good idea. They would use spy data collected from Amazon, Google, and Apple devices to determine whether or not an individual can own a gun. Because let me tell you right now that those three titans they know you better than your family does. They have the data on you. They know you better, considering, like we've talked about before, they know you when no one else is around. Mm-hmm. Talk about character. Character is displayed by how you act when no one else is around. Well, that's the virtual world. And they know you. They know you. So, big tech that would use spy data collected from Amazon, Google, and Apple devices to determine whether or not an individual can own a gun. The proposal is part of an initiative to create a Health Advanced Research Projects Agency, otherwise known as HARPA, which would be located inside the Health and Human Services Department, reports Daily Caller. The new agency would have a separate budget, and the president would be responsible for appointing its director. HARPA would employ breakthrough technologies with high specificity. I always have my tongue gets so tongue-tied. The program would be very specific. I feel like Elmer Fudd. And for early diagnosis of neuropsychiatric violence, including, this is where they'd be gathering some of the information from: Apple Watches, Amazon Echo, and Google Home. And this wouldn't be like, okay, well, now they're going to tap into it. This data has been being collected on us for the last number of years.
Right.
In other words, data collected from devices that spy on private conversations and closely monitor user behavior would be used to strip Americans of their fundamental rights. Though the proposal is starting as a voluntary data collection scheme, that's a good word, scheme. Though the proposal is starting as a voluntary data collection scheme, allegedly aimed at finding warning signs of mental illness, we all know so-called voluntary government programs often become mandatory at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, and this is so interesting to me because just objectively, in my mind, I don't see how this program would work on a voluntary basis. Because if I were, hypothetically someone who had violent tendencies and wanted to purchase a firearm so that I could commit atrocities in my society, then I would not be volunteering information to an agency that could potentially keep me from getting a gun.
That's right.
So how does that work?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it starts off as voluntary, right? Like your health insurance, and you got something vibrating on you.
It's over there.
Oh, is it? Don't worry about it. Hey, it's still a low budget show. You just bear with us. It starts off involuntary. It starts off as voluntary. Hey, listen, you can keep your health provider. That was a horrible impersonation of Barack Obama. More was like George W. Bush.
I think the point got across, though.
Yeah, you can keep your health provider. Okay, sure, this is a voluntary system where we collect all of your data. But you give us the data voluntarily, and we'll judge if you have any mental illnesses or not. Okay, give me a break. Okay. According to the Washington Post, Trump has reacted in a positive manner to the idea. That is not good. The full scope of the program is chilling and would provide big tech with an easy excuse to formally impose the total neuro surveillance of citizens via their smartphone and home assistant devices, something that has already been occurring for many years. The proposal bears some similarities to communist China social credit score system.
And you might look at this and think, big deal. I don't have any health issue or mental health issues. They can have my data. I don't care. Well, my answer to that is, they can have my data. I'm not crazy. But who defines what mental illness is? I would guess the people that have the power to take away your rights are probably the ones who are defining what mental illness is. And who knows down the line what that could mean.
Like we just said, go back, it was like 3 shows ago. It was talking about sentient and DARPA and the data collecting global brain that they're creating. It was right before the shows that we did with Josh Peck, I believe. But the Department of Homeland Security has already labeled, in Obama's America, in 2009, they already labeled the extremists as Christian fundamentalists, people who are against abortion, even homosexual marriage, people who stockpile food or maybe have an abundance of ammunition, those who believe in end-time prophecies. I read it from the declassified assessment from the Department of Homeland Securities that it said extremists, these terrorists, are people that believe in end-time prophecies. They have already labeled you as an extremist. Now, here's the thing. I do not think that President Trump will do this. I don't. I believe he's too smart for this. I do. I believe he's too smart. He's not going to infringe on our Second Amendment. I really don't believe that. But the fact is that it was presented to him.
Yeah.
And it will be presented to the presidents after him. That's what you need to understand. Just because Trump doesn't decide to do this, I do not think that he is going to literally create the social credit system in America. My goodness, would we have to do a complete reversal in our stance of President Trump if he literally enacted social credit, the SCS, across America?
Yeah.
But it will be presented to presidents of the future. It is essentially a barometer. That gauge you put out that measures the pressure in the atmosphere. If it's low, rain is coming. If it's high, it's a beautiful sunshiny day. A barometer. It's telling us the atmospheric pressure, indicating the weather that is coming. I believe that the Lord has put something on me to be a type of watchman. So I am telling you, I believe that this is coming to America. I've said it before, Donald Trump is not going to be president forever. China is doing this now. Oh, but Zach, they're communists, right? They're a bunch of bloody commies. So are the left.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are
100%.
Seriously. So the your Democrat granddaddy of the 1970s is not the Democrat Party today
At all.
They are communists. And I'm telling you, we're one Democratic president away from all of this. Just by way of review, I want to talk to you about what it looks like, what this social credit system looks like in China, that it is coming to America. You want to know how I know that? Because it really does fit in line with the beast system. And the beast system is not going to be for one geographical location. It's going to be for the entire world.
Right.
Including America. I've got a big article here. I'm just going to read the highlights. The headline, though, is Big Data meets Big Brother as China moves to rate its citizens. Okay, awesome. It's from Wired. I got some highlights I want to read for you of what it's like in China now. And it could come to America sooner than you think. Under this system, talking about China, something as innocuous as a person's shopping habits become a measure of character. Someone who plays video games for hours a day, for example, would be considered an idle person. Your score goes down. Someone who frequently buys diapers would be considered as probably a parent who, on balance, is more likely to have a sense of responsibility. So the system not only investigates behavior, it shapes it. It kind of, nudges the citizens away from purchases and behaviors that the government doesn't like. Oh, and mind you that friends matter too on the social credit system in China. What does their choice of online friends and their interactions? Yes, they are collecting the data of your interactions online, the same way they are in America right now. It just hasn't been formed. It just hasn't been formed into a system that can give you a number yet. What does their choice of online friends and their interactions say about the person being assessed? Sharing what Sesame Credit, and their big one over in China, refers to as positive energy online, nice messages about the government, or how well the country's economy is doing, will make your score go up. Okay, so posting dissenting political opinions or links mentioning anything in China's past has never been wise in China, but now it could directly hurt a citizen's rating. But here's the real kicker. A person's own score will be affected by what their online friends say and do. Not just you, but what you're guilty by association. Beyond their own contact with them. If someone they are connected to online posts a negative comment, their own score will also be dragged down. The score can even affect their odds in China of getting a date or a marriage partner, because the higher their Sesame rating, the more prominent their dating profile will appear on their dating sites. You'll be buried if you don't have a good score. You can't find a date. Sesame Credit always offers tips to help individuals improve their ranking, including warning about the downsides of friending someone who has a low score.
Man, just imagine this for a second. Imagine picking your friends based off of their social credit score so that you can improve your own. Think about choosing your potential spouse based off of their credit score number. Yeah. That's insane.
People will have incentives to say to their friends and family, don't post that. I don't want you to hurt your score, but I don't want you to hurt mine either. For instance, people with low ratings, they'll have slower internet speeds. You're not even guaranteed high-speed internet. Restricted access to restaurants, nightclubs, or golf courses, and the removal of the right to travel freely abroad with, I quote, restrictive control on consumption within holiday areas or travel businesses. Scores will influence a person's rental applications, their ability to get insurance or a loan, and even Social Security benefits. Citizens with low scores will not be hired by certain employers and will be forbidden from obtaining some jobs, including in the civil service, like journalism and legal fields, where, of course, you must be deemed trustworthy. Low-rating citizens will also be restricted when it comes to enrolling themselves or their children in good schools. This is what it's like in China. And you can't say, well, that's China, they're communists, because that is the left today.
100%. I mean, really, if you haven't, the Democratic presidential debates, just go watch them. I mean, I challenge you to find really one person that you would feel really safe and comfortable with being president.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Hey, how about this? All right. So there is a TV show. It's called Black Mirror. It's an incredibly popular British television series. It's been on Netflix since 2016. Millions and millions of people watch it. And it's really hardcore. It's a hardcore show. It's not wholesome by any means. But I'm not here to rate the show. I'm here to talk about a specific episode. Season 3 episode. Okay, I wouldn't suggest going to watch it, honestly. If you're a Christian, you shouldn't.
Probably
I got through I didn't know it was like that. Well, I'm not here to tell my testimony about the show, but really, truly don't watch it, okay? In Season 3, Episode 1, it's called Nosedive. That was what the episode was called. So the plot was this. Society uses a technology where, through eye implants and mobile devices, everyone shares their daily activities and rates their interactions with others on a 1 to 5 star scale, a miniature social credit system, which affects the person's overall rating. One's current rating can be seen by others and has significant influence on one's socioeconomic status. Okay, so this particular episode follows a woman named Lacey who oversees, or who really overly obsesses about her rating. She's been able to use her rating to, live a better life and even, move into a nicer neighborhood, judged by, it was very, very much like how China's works. Her obsession leads to several mishaps, actually, on her journey to a wedding where she ends up having a radically declined score because of these mishaps. Here is one scene from that episode to illustrate what the social credit system would look like in real life.
Hi there, how you doing?
I am wonderful.
I am so sorry. That flight is canceled.
No.
Customer incident at the other end.
What? So when is the next flight?
Yeah, they're all kind of full.
I booked this weeks ago. It's my best friend's wedding.
I'm sorry.
I have to get there. I have to.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
Oh, thank you.
I see there's one standby seat on another plane leaving tonight.
Oh, okay.
That's reserved for members of our Prime Flight program. You gotta be a 4.2 or over to qualify.
Oh, I'm a 4.2.
I'm afraid you're actually a 4.183.
Oh. Well, that's not my fault. Some woman dinged me down in the cab. Can't you just...
I'm sorry, it won't let me book it without the correct ranking.
But it's so close.
There's just nothing I can do.
I mean, surely.
I'm gonna have to ask you to moderate your language there.
Sorry, it's just... I'm maid of honor. I cannot miss this wedding.
And I am so sorry about that.
Can you call the supervisor?
I cannot do that.
Can you just call the supervisor?
I cannot do that.
Call the supervisor.
Okay, that's profanity. We're zero tolerance on profanity.
I'm sorry, it's just...
Yeah, I have to serve the next customer.
No.
You step away, ma'am.
You've got to help me. I'm so sorry.
I've called security.
Oh, no, please don't do that. I'm a 5-starring you. 5 stars.
What's the issue here, Hannah?
Intimidation and profanity.
Oh, no, I was not intimidating.
speak, ma'am.
I was just trying to...
Okay, so, in order to restore calm, I'm invoking my authority as airport security to dock you 1 full ranking point as a punitive measure. This is a temporary measure.
No!
The score reverts to normal in 24 hours.
No, but I
During
need
this
it now.
probationary period, all downvotes are subject to a ×2 multiplier.
×2?
We recommend you avoid negative feedback at this time.
I'm on double damage.
Please, remove yourself from the airport immediately.
Well, Zach, that's just a TV show. Well, here's a couple articles. Here's an article headline. Over 25 million flights blocked by China's social credit system this year alone. It's not a TV show. This happened a few years ago, but this is not a TV show. This is happening right now in China. China blocked 90,000 people from buying high-speed train tickets to get to a neighboring town or city. 90,000 last month alone.
Wow. Really, there's tons of examples of this, and I won't go through it, but sci-fi really has kind of become a precursor to reality. A lot of things that are sort of predicted and foretold in sci-fi fiction have come to pass, and I think it will continue. The trend will continue.
That's right. So once again, I want to make this very clear. So this headline of Trump administration considering social credit score system to determine who can buy a gun. I don't think President Trump will do this. If he is, my goodness, he tricked us all. I don't believe he is. He's too smart. But this was presented to him, and like I said, it will be presented to presidents in the future, and it will become a reality. And also, we are out of time. We have about 1 minute left. But in other related news, you need to go and watch a clip from Beto O'Rourke. Okay, this is a reality. This is the left. This is the communists already. He's pledging on record. He's pledging to take away AR-15s and AKs if he is president. He posted a video on the topic addressing fear. So he was addressing the fears that his administration would take away assault rifles. So to address those fears, this is what he said. Now, he said, I want to be clear, okay, to address these fears. That's exactly what we're going to do.
Your fears are right.
To address the fears, he said, I want to be clear, that is exactly what we're going to do.
You should be afraid.
Americans who own AR-15s, AKs, will have to sell their assault weapons, all of them. My analysis, Beto is a Nazi.
That's strong words.
He is. Look at what the Nazis did in World War II. I have a whole history here on my outline that I don't have time to get into. Beto is an American in name only. And he represents the left.
He does.
In other related news, Walmart ends all handgun ammunition sales and asks customers not to carry guns in stores as far as open carry goes. The company, America's largest retailer, said it will stop selling handgun ammunition and short-barreled rifle ammunition, such as the .223 caliber and the 5.56. Walmart attempted, again, reference what I just read, Walmart attempted again to balance customers who own guns and are, quote, part of our customer base with safety in stores. Dan Bartlett, Walmart Executive Vice President of Corporate Affairs, said on a call with reporters. He said this, we feel like we are striking a responsible balance between the interests of law-abiding citizens who are exercising their legal rights and the safety concerns of our associates and customers. He's balancing it for law-abiding citizens. So he is taking handgun ammunition out of his stores where law-abiding citizens go in and buy the ammunition because, yeah, the bad guys, they only buy from Walmart. The bad guys, they can't find ammunition elsewhere.
Right.
But to balance it out, to respect his clientele that does love guns, we're just taking the handgun ammunition out. What? They may give in a spirit of madness.
Yes.
A spirit of madness. We are totally out of time. Remember to donate to the ministry this month if you can. And hey, also, you're going to see a little video of this at the very end. Go on a cruise with us in September of 2020.
If you've been following the Zach Drew Show and you're passionate about what the Lord is doing in these last days, you won't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Please consider joining Zach Drew and Josh Peck of Skywatch TV for a 7-night Caribbean cruise on the Harmony of the Seas, the largest cruise ship in the world. From September 6th to September 13th of 2020, you will enjoy 4 beautiful Caribbean locations and 3 full days at sea on a luxurious cruise ship, while Zach and Josh share prophetic revelation concerning the end days, AI, and the age of singularity. But that's not all. They will also be giving important political and spiritual commentary just a few short weeks before the 2020 presidential election. You may know Josh Peck from Skywatch TV programs like Into the Multiverse and Chalk Talk. Josh is also the founder of The Daily Renegade, an amazing alternative news source for Christians who are awake to the signs of the times that we are living in. And you will not want to miss what Josh has to say. Zach and Josh will be speaking during the evening sessions with a worship team in a private conference room that can hold up to 300 people. Every session will be on the days that the boat is at sea, so don't worry, it will never interfere with your island adventures. You will be free to explore and enjoy as you sail port to port from Orlando, Florida to Coco Key, Bahamas, to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and finally Basse Terre, St. Kitts. And you will definitely be sailing in style aboard the largest cruise ship ship in the world, the Harmony of the Seas. This incredible ship has 16 decks, 4 outdoor pools, a spa, and amazing live entertainment from Broadway-style shows to stand-up comedy, live jazz and blues bands, water shows, and aerial acrobatics, not to mention the grand-scaled water park. And as you can see, there is so much more to enjoy about this unique experience. Rooms will be priced by category. Inside cabins are $1,103, ocean view cabins are $1,185, and balcony cabins are $1,441 per person. You can sign up today by visiting the website at heavenlycruises.com. Enjoy their easy monthly payment plan. That's heavenlycruises.com, or you can call their number for any questions at 209-588-9565. Don't miss this amazing experience. Book a room today.